Everybody, 314 React here, another busy week, so it's just a quick video today looking at Halo Campaign Evolved. Yet another reaction to the trailer and the gameplay. I'm sure you've seen many other videos doing the same. It's been out for about 5 days now, so it's been enough time for me to sit there and think about it, absorb it, get my thoughts in. So let's dive in and check out the trailer. We're not going to look at the roundtable thing, but we are going to look at the trailer and the gameplay. So let's do this. Silent Cartographer trailer, let's play it. So immediately it looks extremely Unreal Engine, of course, because it is, but it just has that feel. I'm really confused as to why they didn't use id Tech. I mean, Microsoft own Bethesda, and they own id Software, so why not use id Tech? I don't know. I think it would suit it more. These are the re-recorded lines from Jen Taylor.
What sort of weapon is it?
One with unimaginable power.
I don't know why they've re-recorded some lines, but left some as the original. The new lines lose some of the gravitas and seriousness that the original lines had, and makes it sound a bit more like Infinite, you know, the weapon from Infinite. Some of the effects look cool there. I mean, Unreal Engine can produce some really cool results. The tires on the Warthog look cool. They got the NASA tires. I mean, that just looks awesome. I quite like that. The particle effects look cool. You see bits of particles flying down there, pinging out. Although, ironically, they don't look as good as the particle effects from the original Halo. Those just had certain attributes to them that just looked amazing the way they bounced around. So yeah, there we go. Coming 2026 to Xbox, PC, and PS5. It's good that it's coming to PS5, but I don't know why they don't just port the MCC to PS5. I also don't know why they recently celebrated Halo 5 on Steam and on the Halo website here, and they've released a whole bunch of armors for Infinite that relate to Halo 5, but they still haven't released Halo 5 for PC or the MCC, which makes no sense, because the engine already exists on PC. You can get Forge Mode, which is Halo 5's engine, on PC, but they haven't ported the game, and yet they're celebrating the 10-year anniversary. It's just weird. I mean, Halo 5 wasn't exactly great, but it wasn't horrendously terrible either, and it still deserves to be on PC so people can actually play it. So again, just another bizarre choice. I don't really understand it, and why you would explicitly celebrate 10 years of Halo 5 when most people can't play it. I guess if you have an Xbox you can play it on backwards compatibility, but anyway. So this is the 13-minute gameplay demo. This is going to give me a bit more time to talk about the gameplay, talk about some of the things I'm seeing. The trailer was of course very, very short, so it was just kind of picking what I could immediately see, but this is going to give us a bit more time to go over some of my thoughts. I still prefer the water from the original game. A lot of people talk about how the aesthetics have changed.
The Covenant believe that what they call the Silent Cartographer is somewhere under this island. The Cartographer
Pop in there.
that will lead us to Halo's control center.
I mean, it looks good, but Halo Infinite looked good in the earliest previews. But then they have actually played this in real time. I've seen other people play it, so I think it will actually look like this. And the pop-in, it's not great, but it's not too bad either. Although it is Unreal Engine 5, so you'd expect Nanite to reduce pop-in. And no touchdown hit Marines. That's a bit of an odd omission. It's not too bad. I don't know why the assault rifle doesn't have 60 rounds in. I don't know why they became allergic to that after the first game. I don't know why the pistol looks so overly chunky. It looks like it's based off of the Halo 5 classic pistol. The dirt effects are really cool. Explosions are cool. The blood looks really cool. There's not as much of it as in Halo 1, but it's there. I just don't think they've ever been able to capture that pistol since Halo 1. Even Halo 3's version of the pistol just wasn't it for me. And there's a little bit of kind of blur and slight ghosting, I think people have noted on this from the upscaling, specifically in reflections and stuff. You can see the reflection on the pistol there is a little bit janky, but I think people forget just how much of a mess video game graphics were in the 2000s as well, in the late 2000s, where it looked like every game was rendered through the bottom of a Coke bowl. So this is nothing new, but they should be improving it.
I've been able to pinpoint the main facility by cross-referencing Covenant survey data and religious texts. We were right. It's on this island. I've marked the entrance with a nav point.
It does sound a little bit Destiny, the voice of Cortana there. The water looks a bit funky with some of the reflections. There's a lot of screen space stuff. I'm guessing that's because they're using software Lumen, because this was done on an Xbox. And if you had to flick to hardware Lumen, you'd possibly get proper ray tracing to handle off-screen stuff, and you wouldn't get that screen space stuff anymore. But, you know, plenty of games have that. Plenty of games have pop-in, plenty of games have screen space. The barrel heating up there is kind of cool. The Warthog looks great. I quite like that. It's just...
The Silent Cartographer is somewhere inside that facility.
it's just a little bit too shiny. It's got that 343 Industries overly shiny Forerunner
Before they learn the location of the
architecture.
control center.
Bit of frame drop there. And there's reuse of Halo Infinite's assets, like the Needler and stuff like that, which is a bit worrying. I think the Elites are reused from Halo Infinite as well, which is a lot what they did with Halo Anniversary Edition. They reused a lot of assets from Halo 3 and Reach. I think even this is reused from Infinite. It's like, why not just make new assets for a remaster?
They're putting up a real fight. The cartographer must be here. My analysis indicates that the map room should be at the bottom floor of this facility. Let's keep going inside.
And Jen Taylor's redone voice lines sound like they're meant for a presentation like this, not to be in the actual game.
Interesting. I underestimated the Covenant's understanding of Halo's subsystems. We need to find the security override to get this door open. Cortana to keys.
Go ahead, Cortana.
And then you've got the original voice lines, which now sound out of place.
Negative, Captain. The Covenant have impeded our progress. We can't proceed unless we can disable this installation's security system.
Understood. We're still en route.
Ambient occlusion looks really good.
I may be out of contact when we get there.
I mean, the lighting overall looks good.
I want you to use any means necessary to force your way into the facility and find Halo's control center. Good luck, people. Keys out.
Let's move down the beach. Keep an eye out for any unusual structures that could house the security system.
Again, some nice particles there that look pretty cool. The hit markers don't really get. Sprinting, I don't really get either. The sprinting and the scoping, I don't really understand. Those are two things in Halo 5 where it's like, why are they here? Especially scoping, given the fact that it didn't really do anything in Halo 5, and it doesn't look like it does anything in this either. It's literally just a zoom-in function. You got an Elite there boarding the Warthog. That's kind of cool adding that in. I wonder if the AI can drive vehicles as well, like the AI can drive Warthogs. That would be pretty cool. I think backporting things from the future Halo games can be good, but sometimes they go a bit too far with it. Like, how does the battle rifle fit into the Halo sandbox? I'm not sure. Boarding seems kind of fine though. I think the vehicles take damage now, which again could affect that sort of flow and feel of the original game. But it's a remake, so the fact you can drive the Warthog up here doesn't bother me. I think that's pretty cool. It gives you a bit of extra options. The thing that does bother me is that everything has a vastly smaller scale to it, or at least it feels that way. Like the journey from the first bit where they got locked out to this seems really short. Whereas in the original game, it seemed much larger, and the whole island overall seemed much larger. So, shrinking down the scale like this, again, it seems specifically that it's meant to increase the pace of this video, which makes it feel like this was made for a demonstration rather than for an actual Halo game. And there's just a few little oddities, shadows popping in, some blurry visuals. But again, it's not like other games don't have this. I think there's just a lot of upscaling going on. The internal resolution is doing the original resolution of the reflections, and then when it's being upscaled, it's losing fidelity, and that's why it's flickering a bit. It's not great. It should be fixed, but it's not like it's new. Like I said, if you look at a game from 2007, not Halo 3, but like a generic game from 2007, it looks messy because the technology has gone further ahead than the hardware can handle, so they have to make all sorts of compromises. Like back then, it was lots of motion blur, lots of bloom, lower resolutions, like Edge AA, stuff like that, just blurring the screen so that it still looks like it's got these new technologies, but the hardware of the time can actually handle it. So it's the same thing happening about 20 years later. You've got hardware that can't quite handle all this Lumen technology, the Unreal technology, higher resolutions, so you have to render it at a low resolution, upscale it in various ways, temper anti-aliasing, lower sample counts, lower ray counts. I'm still just not much of a fan of how dark it is and how shiny it is.
Good. That should open the door that leads into the main shaft.
And also how overly complicated the architecture is.
Let's head back down the beach.
And I've heard people argue that the reason why Halo looked like it did was obviously due to the restriction of the technology, and we don't have that restriction anymore. But just because the art style was inspired and informed by the hardware of the time, doesn't mean that's not what the art style is. You know, just because we don't have that restriction anymore doesn't mean we have to get rid of that art style. The good news is the camo effect looked pretty good there. Oh, that was a bit of ghosting there from screen space. The water does look a bit janky at a distance. I don't want to nitpick the visuals too much. This bit I kind of like, because this is how I used to do it. I used to drop down here without going all the way around. And I imagine a lot of people did that on their first playthrough. It was only after I played it through a few times that I realised you were meant to go back through the centre of the island, back round, and there was a whole new set of enemy encounters. So I kind of like they've put that in the demo here. You can see slight ghosting and shadowing left from when they pick up weapons and stuff. I think that's just due to ray counts and sort of temporal compromises that they have to make, like reusing data from previous frames to fill in the current frame kind of thing. I think they're going to add in new weapons, which is cool. It does look good, I must admit. Even with some of the graphical flaws. But I think the thing that bothers me the most is that we're getting this before we ever had a Halo 3 remaster. 2017 we should have had a Halo 3 remaster with new assets, blur cutscenes, fixing the things that were a little bit messy with Halo 3, just like they did with Halo 2 Anniversary, which has probably been the best one so far in terms of remakes or remasters. So it's a bit disappointing. I think that would have been the way to go, and that's almost 10 years ago now, so I don't know if they'll ever remaster Halo 3 in that way. Skybox looks a little busy. Again, it all just looks a little bit too busy. And Halo was never really about looking too busy. I think that's motion capture. I think there's something slightly lost about the animations there. The way Chief originally did that in the original game was much more casual, had a kind of slight humour to it, and that was kind of lost even from Halo 2 onwards with the way they changed how the animations looked. I don't know, maybe that's just me. Let's go back and look at some bits. So you've got the new style grunts there, I think from Halo Infinite. You see, here's the funny thing. They talk about the lighting and how Lumen can enhance the lighting from weapons and stuff. But when they're actually firing these weapons, it doesn't seem to be having as much effect on the environment as the original game did. The original game would light up these walls in a really beautiful way when you charge up a plasma pistol. All the different colours from the needles would all blend and make loads of awesome colours with all the bump mapping. But here, it just doesn't seem to be affecting the environment as much. But again, that was a problem even from Halo 2 onwards. So it's all this extra shine and lighting and lumen, but it still doesn't seem to have that original amazing blend of over-the-top lighting and colour that the original had. And there's just a lot of visual noise as well. And let's go back to this bit. This is the bit I'm really fascinated by. So the person playing jumps off here. The trails in the dirt from the tyres is pretty sweet as well. Again, why the hit markers? Why? Don't get it. And look, they go around the corner and they're like almost instantly here with this little rock bit. And then it's almost instantly up to this bit. And then when you drive up here, it's so close to where the hunters are in the middle. It's like such a shortened area. It makes the whole island feel tiny. And the reason why, I think, is because if you were to scale the original island, you wouldn't have as much of a snappy and pacey gameplay demo to play through. Which makes me feel the reason why they chose this is because it's the map that everyone remembers, it's the level that everyone remembers, but the reason why they chose and built it this way was specifically for this gameplay demo, not for the actual game. And that worries me. The hunters still have their weak spot, but they don't go down in one shot. That's fine. That's not a problem. Oh, and they don't have multiplayer either, which is a bit odd. Because I'm guessing they're going to want to put some sort of monetization in it. But I'm not sure how they're going to do that without multiplayer. And I also wonder how they're going to price this as well. If it's for PS5, is it going to be reduced price? Because it's just the single player. The fact that you see Foehammer is cool. But the lack of touchdown hit Marines and the lack of the assault rifle, you know, being cocked when the Chief lands, that being gone is weird. The gun sounds sound a bit weird as well. It sounds kind of like Halo 3 where they all sound a little bit underdone as opposed to the original which had really beefy sounds. The dirt effects look cool. They seem to have actually captured the powerful nature of the grenades, which was kind of lost in Halo 2 onwards. I do have my concerns, like a lot of other people do as well. And they say it's releasing in 2026, but whether it will or not, they say it's got 3 extra missions that serve as a prequel. How good they're going to be, I don't know. Are they then going to remaster or remake Halo 2 and 3? Which means we'd have a remake of Halo 3 without having the remaster of Halo 3. Have they just forgotten about Infinite? Or indeed Halo 5? The sort of homogenization of game engines, you know, everything being Unreal is concerning as well. id Tech would have been better for this. I think it would have been smoother, less poppin', and more suited for Halo. id Tech has traditionally been more internal areas, but if you look at Eternal and Doom the Dark Ages. They're set in much larger spaces, which would have been able to handle this kind of thing pretty damn good, I think. So I don't know why everything has to be Unreal Engine. Why they can't just give 60 rounds in the assault rifle. The assault rifle itself looks a bit weird as well, but then maybe that's just nostalgia talking. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Anyway, those are my thoughts. Not all of my thoughts. I have a lot of thoughts on this, but the video would go on for about 2 hours. But those are just my kind of initial thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comments. Leave a like, subscribe. There's a new video every week on tech and video games. Hope everyone's staying safe, and I will see you in the next video.